Well, Lipper Army, today we're going to be trying to salt some clams. I'm not going to salt them all, I'm just going to salt a couple, and we're going to see if we can do it. We're going to need a hammer to, hit them shells open, scissors to maybe cut some clams up in strips or something, tray John, paper towels, some sea salt, any kind of salt would do, I guess, and then you need a trash bucket. And the main part, the main, guy of the show is going to be the clam johns. And then a rag for your hands. So I'm going to start cracking the shells open. And when you crack the shells open, the easiest way is to hit right on the knot right here. You want to hit right on the knot, and that explodes them. So we're going to get to that right now. Alright, Lipper Army, so I'm going to about hit some clams open, hit them right here. One other thing you can do, Lipper Army, is if they die, if you wait till they die, let them sit in the sun and die, they start opening up themselves, and you don't have to hit them with a hammer. But I don't feel like waiting, and I don't mind using Mr. Hammer John anyway. So what we're going to do is hit this shell right here. Boom. Get some liquid. If you're thirsty, drink it up, and then you should be able to pull it. But you can see how it's a little hard still to pull the shell apart. That's because it's still alive. But what you can do is hit it with a hammer and then come back to it in a few minutes, and then it'll be a lot easier to get the shell off. It'll be a lot easier than trying to rip it off. Now here's a clam right here. Now what you can do is you can just use scissors and cut it out and get that tongue. They call it a tongue. And this part right here, this is the main part you want to use. That's the way you want to hook it. This is all guts over here. People don't use the guts. What I usually do if I don't salt them is I just freeze the whole thing. Put it in each one in saran, so when you freeze them you can just take them out individually one at a time. And you could just keep the guts up in there. I like it for extra flavor. But when we salt them, I believe I'm just going to cut and keep this tongue right here. I'm going to show you guys that in a little bit. Alright, Lipper Army, so we got our clams right here. We got our clams. We got a little platform we're going to do them on. We got salt. And that's what I was talking about. When I don't salt them, I just put them all individually wrapped, so they don't stick together when you freeze them. But let's start up. So what we're going to do here, what we're first going to do is get some salt, and we're going to layer the paper towel. Layer it up. Get a nice layer on there. Once you got a layer, now what we're going to do, grab our clams. I like to get a little liquid out if you can, because that's the reason we're salting them, is get the liquid out. A couple drip draps. If you're thirsty, take a drink. And then what we're first going to do, I'm just going to put the whole clam. The whole clam's just going to go right on top. Right on top. Put a couple of these puppies on there. Or rinse our hands off. Now with I'm going to do a couple just of strips to see how it goes. We're going to cut this this thing off right here. I guess you would call that the booty. We'll cut just what they call the tongue off. I had a lot of luck with not salting them in the early October in the river for stripers and mad catfish. But I said, you know what, let's try salting something, you know. Maybe we can get, you know, some salty lips to lick something, you know. Rip them. Alright, now that we got that, now what we're going to do is pour salt all over them. You want to coat those puppies like no other. Ever put salt on a slug? Well, this is kind of like that. So we're going to coat them up. Alright, once we coat them, what we're going to do is just put a paper towel over them. Paper towel over them. Put a little rock johns on top. We got blue john, fox john, basso, meteorite. Put little clams on there too. Now we're going to let this sit. We're going to let this sit and maybe for like a half hour, and then go check on them. Alright, Lipper Army, yo, it's been about like 2 hours. We're going to let it sit and we're going to take a look. The reason why I put paper towels on top, or so it coats it up, gets all, see it's kind of wet here, sucking up all the juices out of it. Now, what we're going to do, put them in a cup. It's funny how this one says no salt added. We're going to be salting it. Put some up in the bottom. Put our clam up in there. Put some more salt in there. Alright, now the little tongues I'm going to put in a separate container. If you have any cuts on your fingers, then you're going to have some stinging going on here. And we just use a little bit more salt. Now I'm going to put this in the freezer. And then next time I go fishing, we're going to use it up. Thanks for watching, guys. So, Lipper Army, after that video clip I just showed you, I put it in a container, and then I found out why not just separate them. So that's what I did. I put salt around them, and this is about 2 weeks later, man. Hear that? They are like a rock. And I put some salt inside the saran and wrapped it up around it. But these tongues, these are hard as a rock. And I actually, you know, take a little nibble. Nah, I'm kidding. I just want to show you guys, man, they are hard. So they're just, you know, nothing squishy about it. No guts. The guts are all dried up. And hi, fam. Keep ripping them.